Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game we find Flagstaff 2016, known as Rocket within ICOP. There's a good reason for that. If you want to hit me up in game or message me, just find any other ICOP that's been around for a little while and they can tell you. Today he's playing the Tier 5 October Revolution. I don't really know a whole lot about this game other than that the message that he sent me when he sent me this replay file is that this could have gone either way. Now, if you're not familiar with the October Revolution, it was given as a prize for a series of missions, or you could buy it. I'm pretty sure Rocket got it as a prize doing the series of missions, but I could be wrong about that. It hits very hard, typical of battleships at its tier. It is not especially accurate. It has a dispersion that is sometimes maddeningly broad. I guess that's probably a fair way to say it. You can see we've got a couple pink players on the team here. Another October Revolution and a Nicholas. Really not as big a deal as it was a few years back. I think most people realize it happens. In fact, I can remember a time once upon a time, long time ago, when at the beginning of the game, if someone was pink, there would be almost always somebody on the team saying we have to kill the pink guy. Really glad those days are behind us. Rocket has moved to support the Podvoisky at the Alpha Cat. So we got a Congo, an Emerald, and a Katovsky here as well. Oh, that Nicholas is just kind of sitting still. This is probably going to really hurt him. And Rocket spreads the shells out a little bit. That's probably going to do some damage. Oh yeah, nice. And he takes a little damage in return. Now the torpedoes from the Nicholas have a very short range. Where are they? 5.5 kilometers. So not really a whole lot to worry about there. The big worry here is he going to eat any broadside shot from battleships on that side? Now he doesn't have to worry about the Giulio Cesare just yet. But as you can see, the Giulio Cesare is no. You got to aim out in front of him. Giulio Cesare is north of the Bravo Cap. Those shells fell well behind that Omaha. Now the HE is pretty nasty on this thing if you land a significant amount of it, but the AP is not bad either. You just have to get either a really lucky shot or get close enough to where you can really paste somebody. Now Nicholas there torps through all the smoke, but it doesn't look like he's going to manage to land anything. And Rocket is trying to get out ahead of that Nicholas with some shots. And he does. He lands one on Nicholas and finishes him off. Nicely done. Take a little bit of fire now from the Omaha that crossed through the north end of the Bravo Cap. Meanwhile, the good guys up at the Charlie Cap have managed to secure it. The Hill, Königsberg, New York, Omaha, and the other October Revolution. Now Rocket is sticking with the HE, and he's going to get a broadside shot on this Omaha here. Now Omaha's pretty quick, but he's sitting on the edge of the map, and I think that's going to slow him way down. I wish that it would show up in replays, but if you're unfamiliar with how to use the nomogram or nomogram, I think, classic aiming reticule, which is super helpful. If you want to learn how to use that in order to help land more shots, hit me up in game anytime. I'm glad to explain it to you. I keep meaning to do a video about it, and I just hadn't gotten around to it. There are a couple of others that have already been put out there that do a great job of explaining how it works. You can see Rocket has switched to AP, and he does have a fully broadside October Revolution. One overpen, one pen, and a ricochet. Oh boy. See, that October Revolution is not really turning out. He's keeping his nose directly at the Congo, which is going to leave him fully broadside for Rocket to get off another volley here. It looks like Rocket's going to go after the Omaha instead. Omaha does represent a torpedo threat. It's probably really going to hurt that Omaha. Yeah, I'd say so. Nicely done, Rocket. 2 Citadels, and the Omaha is on his way to Davy Jones' locker. So after keeping score, that's just shy of 27,000 damage, 2 kills, 2 Citadels, started a fire, 15 shells landed on target, and Rocket is thus far having a pretty good game. We're only 5 minutes in, a little over 5 minutes in, and he gets his 3rd kill. Nice broadside shot on the October Revolution. I'm not sure why that other October Revolution is concerned about Rocket. I guess maybe he's trying to get him to stay on this side of the island to help with the Matsuki and Giulio Cesare that are pushing through, but I don't think it would be a mistake to head to this side. You have to be careful and stay close to the island so that you can make use of it for cover, but being able to get a shot on that Omaha would be worthwhile. Alright, so it does look like that Rocket is going to go ahead and turn around here. And he'll be swinging his guns around to the port side now, which takes a little while. You can see the number 2 turret and the number 4 turret. They have to rotate about 340 degrees to be able to get around, which takes a while. And almost simultaneously, the good guys lose 2 ships. So right now, the good guys are down to 5 ships remaining. Bad guys still have 6. Good guys have 2 caps. Bad guys only 1. Good guys have a roughly, well, almost exactly 100-point lead due to the caps. I'm not sure if that last comment in the chat there was about what I was talking about a minute ago or not. But either way, Rocket's come back this way to put himself in a position to be able to hopefully do some damage to the Giulio Cesare. Now, if you're not familiar with the Giulio Cesare, it is at least to my mind, a significantly overpowered premium Tier 5 battleship in the Italian line. It hits very hard. It's extremely accurate, even at range, for its tier. Doesn't have any AA, but what does at this tier? Rocket manages to take out a gun, which I'm sure will be repaired. Looks like a couple torpedoes might, yeah, at least one of them landed there. You can see the Rocket is 160 or 640, there we go. You can see the Rocket is angled a little bit, trying to avoid eating a full broadside shot, although Giulio seems to have his guns firmly fixed on the other October Revolution, or well, maybe he's firing on the Königsberg way out there. That makes more sense. Giulio Cesare trying to heal back up. If Rocket gets off a good volley here, he may be able to finish off this Giulio Cesare. The aim was good, but the dispersion was not. Somebody's going to finish him off. His heel's done. He's only got 456, 142, and down he goes. Nicely done, Podboyski. So, it's looking pretty good for the good guys. A little over 10 minutes remaining. At 120 more or less points lead. about to lose the Charlie cap, I think. That's going to give the bad guys 2 caps. The good guys will only have 1. And that will start to turn the points around for the red team. Both teams now down to 5 ships. Good guys have got 2 battleships, a cruiser, and 2 destroyers. Bad guys have got 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 1 destroyer. Now the Mitsuki, if you're not familiar, has long-range torpedoes, and if the captain build is set up for it particularly well, it's pretty stealthy. So if the Mitsuki captain knows what he's doing, he can probably stay out of sight and do some damage. Now the Hill and the Podvoisky are both pushing into the Bravo cap, so if he's anywhere in there, he may get detected. And if he does, that Podvoisky and Hill combination would be pretty deadly in terms of guns, especially at close range. Now, Mitsuki is behind Rocket. Those might be a little too far out there. Looked like he was more or less stopped. Nope, he did land one. That's good. And now we know where the bad guys are. Rocket has opted to turn into the bad guy. Both DDs now are on Rocket's starboard side, and he's turning port directly at the Mitsuki. And if he hadn't, you can see what would have happened there. That might have spelled the end. Those Japanese torpedoes, they hit awfully hard, even from the from the lower tiers. Rocket is doing his best to try and keep the cap from flipping, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get there in time. October Revolution is not an especially fast ship. Unlike the Congo, which is a very fast ship. Now you can see Rocket's got HE loaded, presumably to be able to do damage to the Mitsuki. And it looks like he's going to stick with that, despite the fact that he's got a broadside, or had a broadside Congo there. Congo seems to be turning out. There's the Mitsuki. Rocket's secondaries go to work. It's likely that there are torpedoes. Yeah, there they are. Can he thread this needle? Looks like he can. Nicely done. And Rocket manages to get between all those fish. Smacks the Mitsuki. One more like that and Mitsuki will go down. It's a question now, can the Mitsuki get out of sight? Rocket is still slowing down. I think I'd probably be accelerating here to try to get my guns around, but yeah, he may still get another shot on Mitsuki. I'd want to make sure I kept Mitsuki in range while my guns reloaded. We'll see how this goes. That could be it. That looks pretty decent. Oh, so close. So close. Now the way that Rocket is angled, he can really only use one turret. But he's going to get another shot on Mitsuki. Mitsuki put his guns in action again, and I guess he's going after the Congo. Not sure I understand that. I probably would have gone after the DD. The DD is the larger threat right here, because when the DD's torpedoes come back up, he can sink the October Revolution, even though that Rocket is angled. And I think I'd use my repair right now. 2 fires burning, and the Russian repairs are a little different than everybody else's. You can use it, and then you can use another one fairly quickly. You have a limited number, but I think now would have been a good time. It's alright. I think that's going to be it. Yep. That's 4 kills for Rocket. He's very low on hit points. And he stayed angled. Podvoisky is trying his best to avoid those torpedoes, just like Rocket. And he swung his tail out there a little bit. Is he going to be able to dodge him? Yep, they were able to dodge the torpedoes. Rocket is now healing. 7,500, 7,900, 8,300. So as long as he stays angled, he'll probably be able to keep from getting sunk. 4 kills now. It's low tier, so it's only 59,526 damage. But Rocket's made some important shots, and he's finished off some ships that potentially could have taken out friendlies. Now there's the Königsberg. Even the HE on this thing is just going to shred a Königsberg if you make the right shot. The Königsberg is made of paper, like any Tier 5 cruiser. Takes out the torpedo racks, at least for the short term. You can see they're calling for Rocket. It's not that Rocket doesn't know that he's already in reverse, and he can't go in reverse any faster than he already is. He certainly doesn't want to try and turn around here. I'm not sure what his teammates think he could do differently here, but oh well. Now, fortunately for Rocket, the Königsberg player is not aware that he should be shooting HE right now. And if he were, he could probably be setting Rocket on fire and causing more damage, but he's sticking with the AP, which is bouncing harmlessly. We'll see what Congo does here. Congo was putting AP on the Königsberg, looking for an easy kill. Nice shot on the Königsberg at range. A little bit of damage, took out some systems. Now you can see that Rocket's got almost 66,000 damage now, and he's tanked 1.14 million potential damage. He's done some work, and the Congo finishes off the Königsberg. Königsberg, as inexperienced players often will. I don't know that this player was inexperienced, but I presume he was with what he just did there. He turned broadside to launch torpedoes at a battleship, and not only was the battleship not in range, but the battleship was already reversing, so those torpedoes had zero chance of getting there. And the Königsberg lost his ship in that hopeless attempt. And now the Congo, aware that the torpedoes are no longer a threat, can accelerate forward and make a brave attempt at making something happen. The Königsberg is so far out of the fight, I don't see that he's going to be able to really even be a factor. And you can see that he's still sticking with the AP, which is, even if it hits, probably not going to do much of anything. And it falls harmlessly shy of the nose of the ship. Rocket is aiming nice and high, trying to get into the superstructure to start some fires, and it goes right over the Congo. Oh well. One more kill, and Rocket could secure a crack in here, but looking at the time, I'm not sure whether that's going to happen. I hope it does. Rocket is now out of repairs. Just some chip damage there from the Königsberg. Gets a fire going on the Congo. We'll see whether the Congo opts to repair that. You can see the torpedoes from the hill, but fall just a little bit shy of the mark there. Good guys are about to win this thing on points, so I will say at this point, Rocket, great game. Thanks very much for sending it. It was fun to watch. Those of you joining me, thanks a bunch. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.